Make me uncomfortable, Steven.
All right, guys. Hey, welcome to our Monday sales call. I'm excited to be able to have my brother Klint Nuntapreda with us. What's crazy, Clint? Like, I think we shared this last time, but we were at a Riverside sales conference like 6 years ago. And Clint's team was from like the Northwest, but he was in San Diego. So he drove up to Riverside and, Andrew Taylor and Trey and a lot of our guys, we were, at the event together. So after the event, we went to eat and then we went to um, what is those thing called? Escape rooms. And
Yeah.
Clint was like, "Yo, can I come?" And we're like, "Hell yeah, absolutely." And it was the coolest part because like nobody knew that he wasn't even in our group, but he was so welcomed in that he just participated with us. And ever since, he's been Hall of Fame since. So it's cool to be able to, watch your journey, bro. Because I definitely didn't go Hall of Fame 5 times in a row. You know what I mean? I went once. I can have that on my jacket, but to be able to repeat it over and over again, there's obviously something that you're doing in business that is proven, right? And so I know we recently, we've talked the other day, and you're like, "Hey, I'm starting to build a team and starting to actually teach people how to sell insurance at my level." One of the things that I wanted to ask you, because this is a sales call, so we're going to focus more on your script, your objection handling, teaching your agents how to rip schedules, all that stuff. It's fascinating because the amount of people that sell at a high clip, Clint, and they can't build a team. But if you watch what you've done with Dennis and a few other guys on your team, now it's starting to become duplicatable, and now you have a proven system. And like watching your guys' ads online, you're able to go, "Hey, we have a proven system," because you do. You know what I mean? So if I'm a brand new agent and I get started in your group, what does that new agent process look like? What leads are you starting me on? What am I running? What is my, budget to begin with? What does my schedule look like? Like if Stephen Yee or any of these 50 agents on the call are on your team, like what are we doing to get off the ground running?
So really, when I get them, once I go through contracting, man, and thank you for that intro, Steven, because what's cool about Steven's, like I'm not in his upline, right, or downline, but he helps me all the time, and that's why I love. There's no gatekeeping here. And when I first started this, I used to watch a ton of Stephen E videos to get good at selling insurance, man. I used to have them on repeat everywhere I was going and just listen to Stephen stuff, man. And it's pretty cool to be able to be back here and helping you out, Stephen, because it's come full circle. And I really appreciate you, brother.
Absolutely, bro.
So my system, what's crazy is now when my agents go through contracting, I only had them. It's so simplified on really what I give them. I give them the script, your boot camp.
Hey, you want to know how many agencies use our boot camp? It's like
Let's
seven
go.
right now because like we get the notifications every day, and I'm like, I have no idea who this is, but I'm in. I'm glad someone's using it.
So,
Um, okay, so you give them a script, you give them boot
script, the boot
camp,
camp, and our Zoom rooms.
right?
That, that's all they really need to now be successful. Our script is all exactly the same. So now Dennis, I'm telling you, Dennis can hear when they're pausing at the wrong time,
Right.
when they're not right asking the right question, or when they're in the wrong area where we need to be here. That's how duplicatable it is now. Now it's just a plug and play. Like it truly, truly is a plug and play system where all you have to follow is XYZ. That's all so my goal is you have to get into the Zoom rooms, study the script. Now I'm focusing more on objection handling because now without objection handling, nothing. I remember starting this off, and I would get into the carriers, I got into the products, what ages, what to write. I got so deep into that stuff and spent so much time studying that stuff. None of it even matters. Like when it bullet, no, that doesn't even matter, right? Because if I can't get over the objections, I don't even get
Right.
into the script. If I don't even get in the script, I don't even get into the carriers. So we take it one step at a time and develop them that way. And so first is like, hey, your goal is to sit here, whatever your schedule is, and be locked in on your schedule. Focus on dialing. The Some of my guys on here like, hey, I want to talk to this carrier about this XYZ. I'm gonna reach out like, no, no, no. We're dialing. Hey, what are you talking about? No, we're dialing, dude. That doesn't make you money. You have other top producers in a Zoom room that are here to help you win right now, right? So why would you spend that time talking to a carrier when you can do that before you're dialing?
Especially during primetime
Oh,
hours,
it's
bro.
crazy, dude. It's like,
They do it during prime time, like 8 to 5 hours. We're like, dude, go do that at midnight when like nobody's on the phone.
Yeah,
You know what I
exactly.
mean?
Exactly. I used to say when I first started, I'd spend like I'd be sifting through FFL stuff till like 11 o'clock at night a lot of time, just kind of figuring it
Mhm.
all out. And so spend that time after like income producing hours, what we talk about all the time before, right? Income producing hours, that's when you can be reaching out to either agents or reaching out to clients and stay laser focused there. Like Dennis used to text me fishing stuff all day long about while I was in the middle of my work schedule. While I was down, I wouldn't even respond to him because I'm like, I can go down that rabbit hole shooting text for like pretty soon I've lost 15, 20 minutes
Right.
communicating back and forth. How many people could I've gotten on the phone at that time? You know?
I love it, man. So your mentor used to say this business was 80% on the phone dialing, 15% on the presentation, 5% product knowledge. And what's fascinating, that was what we used to do face to face. But even though you look at it and you transition it into what we do, it is still 80% on the phone. 15% of the skill set of what we do is being able to read, the client, understand tone, pitch, tonality, all that stuff, when to pause, when not to pause. And then the other 5% is product knowledge. It's fascinating, like you said, the amount of new agents that are like, I need to know the products before I go. And I'm like, you're not going to be able to ever talk about the product because you're not going to get a client on the phone to be able to share about the product. Why? Because you don't have the 80 and the other 15%. You have the five. You've mastered the five. Congratulations. You've mastered the wrong thing. You know
Yeah,
what I mean?
sure.
So I love that. So okay, so they get on, they listen to your training. I mean, they listen to the boot camp, they get your script. When do you have them working age stuff right away? Are they buying new stuff right away?
No,
Like,
they're
how are
working age.
you setting them up?
They're working age stuff, depending on budget. Like, so I want them to get comfortable just smashing the phones. Got
Hmm.
to be there. Once they get comfortable overcoming objections, then get them on leads as soon as possible.
Right.
On a budget, my goal is like, hey, you're on leads until you can to generate income. Now you're on lead assist, but then get on leads as soon as possible because then you'd be that much more skilled to overcome the objections. Like even the leads that I'm getting are super fresh, they're coming in real time. I still get the same objections.
Right.
So you got to be ready for that. Doesn't matter. You can like if you're not ready for that, you can get the freshest leads, the most expensive leads. But if you're not ready for that, you're gonna go to the leads.
Here's what's funny. Like new agents think that the newer the lead is, the less
Same thing.
BS they have to deal with. Do you think that's true?
Not at all.
Yeah, me too. I
I'll
feel
tell
like if you buy a $2 lead or a $30 lead, if you can't overcome, I already got it taken care of, it don't matter. You just spent 15 times more on the newer one, right? And so like here's what like new agents need to understand. The reason why most of our managers on this, not just in our call, but like in all of Family First Life, the reason why we usually get you guys to run age leads first is because it's way more cost effective. You're going to learn on a $2 lead or a $1 lead, not on a $30 lead. Like Clint, y'all remember the days? Clint, bro, we were dumb. Bro, when you talking about
40, dude.
dumb, we were dumb.
Yeah,
$8 a lead for mortgage,
yeah,
$35 for a final expense mailer. You remember those days?
yeah.
And it's like, hey, the mailer said free on there too, which was crazy, right? But like that is a hard learning lesson compared to be able to learn on a dollar or two and be like, that's next, right? Like, so like if you're a brand new agent and you cannot comfortably go, hey, Clint, I already got it taken care of, and he can't spit off a rebuttal right away, or hey, you know what, I'm no longer interested, and he can't rebuttal that right away, there is no reason for us to move you to the newer stuff because it's just going to cost you more money.
Yeah. That's
They
like
think that they buy the newer stuff and it avoids all that. It's actually not true.
you
You know what I mean? So can you kind of talk about that? Like what are they supposed to expect in that first month or two when they're grinding their teeth out on some age leads?
yeah, expect it to suck. Expect them to tell you they got to take care of. Expect them to hang up on you. Even with the new leads, expect that stuff. And back to Steven's point is when I first started, I sucked at overcoming objections. Like sucked. So I had to overspend on leads. Like sucked at it. And that's why I know how important it is now because it's gonna if you study one thing for me, I'm like, that's it. It's your objection handling.
Yep.
because it's going to get you into everything else. So practice on those old leads because it's going to be cheaper, so much cheaper. Instead of dumping a G or two and then having the same results when you're first starting off. You know, this doesn't work. Um, but it's going to give you more at bats and more practices, and then write down those objections because those objections you got to understand there's only a handful of them. Once you can master that, that's going to get you into so many more conversations. But master that piece of first. And what's crazy to me is like we send these Zoom rooms all day long, and I'm like off mute from the very beginning. These guys won't come off mute until they're into knee deep into a presentation.
Right.
Do you know how many people you've missed all day
Because of the first 7 seconds.
because those first sentences,
Yeah.
because you're pausing or you're overcoming the objection and then you don't follow up with a question and you let
Right.
the client take control. I'm like, there's so much we can help you so much here in these Zoom rooms. That's what drives me nuts. Is like, dude, I'm here to help you. We're here to help get you there. Utilize this, man. Like it takes away from dude. If I wasn't coaching, dude, I could pump out, dude. I'm telling you, I could do 40K in like I swear, like probably 3 days, like
Yeah, I
three,
believe
four
it too.
days. You know, I'm
I
telling
actually
you.
believe it with you. I believe that wholeheartedly. Here's the crazy part, right? And I want to explain this for people to understand. Like you just got back from a lock-in in Boston. I was in Vegas and we had a lock-in as well. And when we run like we plugged into Andrew's lock-in, but like some of our guys, we come into Vegas and literally work for like an entire week, right? And I part of it is like we're just trying to teach them how to like break their own barriers, but the other part of it is like allowing them to lock in for like a week straight, which a lot of people have kids and distractions, whatever maybe, right? But here's what's crazy. I'm listening to some people dial the phone. Like one of our guys, Art and Daniel and some of the other guys that we have that were over. I'm listening to them and I'm like, they're good. I was like, you know why I know they're good? Because most brand new agents would have gotten to where they that point was and would have got clicked on because everybody would click on them there. But they were good. Like you said, they addressed the objection, asked the question, got the client to ask more questions, and then boom, now they're in a presentation and they close a deal, honestly, that most people would never close. That's a
Mhm.
skill thing. And that's why we've always said, Clint, like you look at our clients at a scale of 100%, 25% of our clients buy no matter what. Those are what we call laydowns. So it don't matter if you call them, I call them, Janelle calls them, Andy calls them, Josh. It don't matter. They fit out the form. They had someone die recently. They're buying it no matter who the hell calls them. Those are the fun ones. Those are easy. You have the other 25% that like hate everybody in the world. They're 87 years old, still don't have insurance, and they're like figuring out, and they think they can get the best deal on earth, right? Like that guy. The middle 50%, Clint, that's where our skills come in. That's where people go, I didn't close that, but would Clint have closed that? Would Dennis have closed that? And the answer is probably.
Well, yeah,
You know what I mean? And so many people get mad at the business, but they won't look in the mirror and go, it's a skill issue. The nice part about it being a skill issue is you can develop skills.
that's what I love about it, dude. Is you can
Right.
figure it out, dude. Enough reps, dude. You're gonna get there, but you got to put in the reps to get there.
Correct. And so many people try to shortcut the skill part by buying more leads. Their answer is instead of me dealing with objections, let me just go buy more leads and hope I get more laydowns. And see, like in that process, it works, but you're not as profitable as the guys like you because you're like, bro, that objection's so easy to handle if you actually know to handle it, right? So let's dive into it. Um, let's take people through the phases of objection handling. So, like as a brand new agent, they get objections. What does that look like to someone like you that's a vet? You know what I
So
mean? How do you
for
handle them differently?
one is when you get objections as a new agent, understand really what we have here. Is understand that we can help them with all the carriers we have. We're brokers, it's all state regulated. If they're not with one of our companies, 9 times out of 10 we can help them. Like it's so as a new agent, you hear it all the time, they don't think they can really help them.
Right.
When they say they got coverage, like, oh, okay, you got coverage. Like, dude, if it's not one of our carriers, I guarantee you 9 times out of 10 we can help them. So really believe that when you're talking to them. If you really believe that, that's going to change the way you talk to them. We're not bothering them. Think about this too, is what's a lead? They put in their name, phone number, address, beneficiaries information, their date of birth, whether they smoke or not, their health conditions. They filled out all that stuff that they saw an ad on their social media. How many ads do you see on your social media that you just keep swiping past, right? These guys take it a step further, put in all their information. So there's no doubt in my mind, no matter what BS line they give me, that they 100% want coverage. No question whatsoever. But a new agent, like, they got it taken care of. They're not interested. Whatever BS line it is, right? So believe that we can really help them. That really is going to help you when it comes to objection handling. You know what I mean? To really believe that, I think,
Hey, let's talk about how crazy this is because a lot of people run like some type of a Facebook lead. So your clients are scrolling on Facebook looking at pictures of their kids and grandkids, and then they see an ad. Okay. So they don't see the ad and have to fill the information out. They got to click that sucker. They click the ad and it goes name, phone number, email, who you leaving this behind to, smoker stat, like whatever you collect, right? So not only do they enter that, because they can enter it and not submit it, but they enter it and press submit. And then when our agents get them, they go, "Oh, you didn't fill this out? Oh, sorry to bother you."
yeah, yeah, yeah. Think about that, right?
Oh,
Because
man. But
you're new at
it's
this.
our perception going like, no, dude, like Mary, I wouldn't have your information. Like, how did I get your information if you didn't send this in? Right?
Yeah.
Like back then we were like, yeah, right, Josh? Like they're master closers. And that's the best part is you're either being closed by the client or you're closing the client. Someone's being closed. It's just a matter of who. Like I remember Clint, they used to hand write their name and phone number. We'd call them and they'd be like, I didn't fill it out. And we're like, dude, it's handwritten. Right? So, like, rule number one, Clint, would you agree that objections are smoke screens?
Oh, 100% every time. So you
Talk
just got to
about that.
figure out how to get around that, right? And there's only a handful of them. And so whatever objections you guys have in your guys' script, study that stuff, no matter what it is. You acknowledge it and then you overcome it. Then you ask another question to maintain control. Because you'll see I saw a lot of agents, they'll overcome the objection and then they just wait. And then
Right.
they get hit with another objection. So then they overcome that one and then they wait. I'm like, good. I'm glad you know how to respond, but you don't know how to take control of the conversation.
Let's role play that. Let's show them what that sounds like. Okay. So, like, call me. I'm your lead online, and I want you to pause after the objection, after you address it. And I want everybody to see how awkward it is because we as managers hear it and we go, oh my gosh, that was awkward. Right. Like, so, like, let's actually help them fix it. So,
Okay.
call me, ring,
Hey,
ring.
Stephen.
Yeah. Who's this?
Hey, Stephen. This is Clint. I was getting back to you about the request you sent in about the life insurance where you listed Janelle as your beneficiary. Is that correct?
Yeah, man, I already got it taken care of. Take me off your list.
Okay, perfect. I can do that. Who'd you end up getting coverage with?
A company called Mutual of Omaha.
Okay. Whatever it is.
And but
Okay.
y'all see that because he didn't ask a question, now this is awkward. And because it's awkward, someone's gonna break the silence, right? And because someone's gonna break the silence, it's probably me. And it's gonna be like, have a
I
good
got
day,
you.
click.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Compared to, let's take it one step further, which is you taking control of the conversation.
All right, you got me to Omaha. Awesome, man. How much did you get that for?
I think it's like $67 a month or something.
Yeah, $6, $7 a month. And how much coverage is it?
25,000.
Oh, dude, I can definitely help you save a ton of money, man. Let me verify a couple of things really quick. It says your birthday is this. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, got it. And then your Janelle's the beneficiary. Most of my clients are trying to cover burial, cover cremation, protect a mortgage. Which one was it for you?
Burial.
Got it. Okay, I can definitely help you out with that. And then that one I should have went to. So when I know there's two types of responses when they tell me they got coverage, is if it's a BS line that they got coverage, or if it's a real numbers. Matter of fact, I got this. This is what it is. I'm paying $77.86 for 20,000. Then
Right.
I know they've got their why built in more. So now I just got to kind of quote.
Right.
But
But
if it's
here's the cool part. This is what we're trying to get people to understand, Clint. Because you asked me a question, guess what I did? I answered.
responded, yeah, true, true, true.
And so, like, I'm not kidding. Like, one of our new agents, Amin, he was like at our first lock-in, he was getting clicked on left and right. And I was like, hey, you're rebuttaling the objection, which is awesome. But like, let's just try to see how much longer we can keep the client on the phone. Right. So he was like, well, what do you want me to do? I'm like, I just want you to ask them questions. Like, I don't care if you ask them what color their house is. Just ask questions and get them to answer. And so, like, he would call and they would be like, oh, not interested. And then he'd be like, were you leaving this behind to your kids or your wife? And they'd answer, like, my kids. Okay, cool. Do they live local or do they live out of state? Local. And then he would ask like three or four questions and then they'd hang up. Right. And I'm like, look, 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 look. I know they hung up still, but you kept them on the phone for another 30 seconds.
Questions.
Now
If you have the
let's
right
ask
question.
better
Yeah,
questions
that's how
and
I
get
feel.
into the presentation.
Yeah, exactly. Like that's what I love when I hear a new agent that's peppering questions, right? Like, dude, that's money. Now we just got to get you asking the right questions. You know what I
What are
mean?
some questions you think people should ask to
So
keep the client on the phone?
my favorite question is if I have them talking, right? No matter like you're saying, men had them talking. My favorite question is when you had filled this out, were you trying to cover burial, cover cremation, or protect a mortgage? Which one was it for you? If they answer to any of that, now we're into the what I can do to help them. You know what I mean? They tell me X, Y, or Z, awesome. I can definitely help you out with that. Let me verify a couple of things really quick and we'll go over your options. And then I'm asking questions I need to know.
Right.
And so that's my favorite question. If you know any one question that you take away from this is most of my clients are looking to cover burial, cremation, or protect a mortgage. Which one was it for you? Like I'll even ask that question if I hear annoyance in their voice. If I'm talking to them and they're like I'm telling you, I want to remind them and bring them back to that. There's a reason why they filled it out, right?
Right.
So if I can bring them back to that, I can kind of re-engage them more. Like I'm telling you, like if I hear any annoyance at all, or they're trying to rush me through stuff, I'll ask them that just to kind of get them like to me, I'm like, hey, sit back down. Let's go.
Dude, you know what the other funny one is for me is like I'm a role player with you, right? So like I call you and you're like, I already got it taken care of. I go, perfect, man. Which insurance company do you have your coverage with? And they're like, oh, I have it with so and so. I'm like, how long have you had that? They're like, it's been 2 years. And then I look at the lead and I'm like, bro, you filled this out last night.
Yeah,
And so like a lot of people hang up right there. But see, the veteran agent like Clint or the veteran agent like Dennis or the top producers on this call, they're going to say this. This is their challenge. They're going to go, oh, Mary, you sent this in to get more coverage, right? Because you obviously had that 2 years in place prior to you filling out the request for insurance. So you were trying to get more like most of my clients. Yep.
assumptive.
Now we're in that conversation. Assumptive. Because that's the other thing that we're not. We're
Yeah,
not good at asking questions and we're not being very assumptive, as Sean always says,
yeah.
right? So, can you give examples of how, like, when you were being assumptive, it's led you to getting into a presentation or even closing a deal while most new agents they get clicked on?
Assuming we can help them, right? Assuming 100% we can
Right.
help them. Whether you think or 100% assuming that, right? Assuming they want the coverage. The way you talk to them, like we're gonna get them coverage, we're gonna fill out a request. Always assuming that stuff. You'll hear new agents like, oh, I think examples. They just don't believe they want the coverage. Like,
Yeah.
you have to believe they 100% looking for coverage, and we're gonna go through the process. The way we're talking to them, it changes the way you talk to them all day long. It we're gonna apply. We're gonna see if we can get you approved. If we get declined, we're gonna apply with a different carrier.
Right.
So we're leading them. So when these things do happen, they're no, it's not a big deal. My favorite thing is when you hear a client be like, "That's if I can even get approved."
Yeah. But you know
That
what but Clint, you want to know what that means? And this is what our agents don't understand. You and I understand what that means. The client says that's even if I can get approved. That's code word for I've spoke to shitty agents and they couldn't get me approved. But they also spoke to agents that are captive, that only have one insurance option, while we have 30 to 40. And it's crazy, Clint, because when they say stuff like that, man, that's even if you can get me approved. And I'm like, Mary, what do you take? Oh, I take a high blood pressure, cholesterol, and diabetes. What else? Oh, that's
Yeah.
it. And you're like, bro, you can get anything you want with us. What are you talking about? Like, you don't tell the client that, but in your mind, you're thinking that, right?
Yeah.
And we pre-check them and they get approved. But so many of our agents don't understand that whatever they're saying is literally, it's literally it's like it's a silk screen. You know what I mean? Like it's not real. And you have to be able to decipher that. Like one of the things that I loved hearing our agents say this, and I don't know if you teach this, Clint, when someone goes, "Oh, I already got it taken care of," or I'm sorry, I'm no longer interested. We go, "Is it because you spoke to another agent?"
Yeah. We just ask, can't, well, you don't think you can qualify, or you think it's gonna be too expensive? Same. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's like, let me guess, you spoke to another agent, huh? And like we're being assumptive. I go,
Something.
let me
Something.
guess, you spoke to another agent, huh? And they're like, yeah. We're like, I'm sorry, you probably dealt with like a complete jerk, and we're not that person.
I like that
Like,
one.
and then like we dial that down because they're pissed. They're at a level 7, and we're talking to them at a level 3 or 4. Because what a lot of new agents do is when they get objections, they match the client. Because a lot of sales techniques is like mirror match. Handling objections is the worst time to mirror match. If the client's screaming at you, you don't scream back. You should actually go down like 3 octaves. You know what I mean? Like to show who's in control.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like my kid, my 3 year old can be like screaming at the top of his lungs. It'd be a really bad day if I'm screaming back at him. But instead, if I go, Bryson, chill, bro. It ain't that serious. Like your sister
Good
took it.
parent.
Calm down. You know what I mean? Like that's how we talk to clients, though. That's really what it is. You know what I mean? So let's go over some actual objections. I feel like there's 3 popular objections on the phone, every phone call. Granted, top producers learn how to eliminate these things, and we'll talk about that too. But if I called you, or if you called me, I should say, and I go, "Oh, I don't remember filling this out." What is your right off the bat objection?
The same
Rebuttal.
FFL one everybody uses. I remember what I have for breakfast, all right? But it says here your date of birth is this, or you put down Janelle as your beneficiary. So, um, yeah, you put down Janelle as your beneficiary for life insurance, right? One thing as a new agent too is whatever lead you're working, use the most valuable piece of that information that you have, whether it's beneficiary, whether it's a vet, instead of life insurance. I'll use like that's what I want them to hear me first is what I want them to hear from me first is your beneficiary's name because it draws in their attention. If you're working vet leads, hey, it says here you're in the Air Force, is that correct? Whatever it is, right? Because it's going to draw them in versus just life insurance because these guys fill out multiple life insurance requests. So
And bro, we shouldn't even like. No way can I call you and know what branch of service you served in
yeah,
unless you put that down.
exactly. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, there's no way I'm guessing that, Bob.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of branches of the military. I'm not gonna guess correctly on the first one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Um, okay, so I love that one. That's the one that we usually teach our agents to
Uh,
like,
breakfast.
yeah, breakfast. We call it minimizing it, right? Like we go, oh, I don't remember what I don't remember filling it out. That's not a problem. I don't remember what I ate for breakfast this morning. Hey, but I got your date of birth is this. Is that correct? But notice, guys, I want you to understand that Clint did the same thing as what we just did. We acknowledged the objection, which is don't remember filling it out. And then what is the thing that we did right after? We asked the question. It was the one that you put your date of birth as this. Is that correct? It was the one that you said your beneficiary is your wife. Is that correct? Like we asked the question. If there's anything you can get from this call, ask questions.
Yeah.
I mean,
Ask questions, maintain control. Because the ones that ask questions, the ones in control.
right. Because here's how it usually happens. All right, we're gonna play it like a client. Okay. Call me.
Oh, Steven?
Yeah, who's this?
Hey, Steven, this is Clint. I was getting back to you about the request you sent in. We listed Janelle as your beneficiary for life insurance. Is that correct?
Yeah, but how much is this gonna cost?
Oh, so a little bit about me as a broker. I work with like 40 different companies to shop around for you to get you the best rate. I just got to verify a couple of things really quick. I'll go over your options. Says here your date of birth is this. Is that correct?
Yeah, but do I have to do this right now?
Yeah, it's really quick. Only takes me a couple minutes to verify. Now, when you fill this request out, were you trying to cover burial, cover
You're good.
cremation, or protect a mortgage? Which one was it for you?
Pause. So y'all notice that like every time he asks me something, good clients, smart clients, they're gonna ask the question back. Yo, do I have to do this right now? How much is it gonna cost? Right? But because what happens is when the client asks the question, guess what you as the agent normally do? You answer it. And that's not a question.
Yeah, I know you
Good
said that.
agents, they answer the question with another question. That's what Klint did right here. I'm telling you, if you can understand this, because most of the time, if Klint asked, was like, "Hey, I'm getting back to you about a form you sent back in," it was one that you said Janelle was your beneficiary. I go, "How much does this cost?" You know what new agents say? I don't know. It could be like anywhere from 30 to $100. And I'm like, bro, that's a statement. That's not a question. Yours was, I work with 30 different companies. I got to ask you a few questions. Hey, let me make sure your date of birth is this. He asked me a question. And then I said, yeah, yeah, yeah. But how long does this take? Because I'm trying to get him off the phone. He goes, oh, it's just going to take like 5 or 10 minutes just to make sure you're trying to get buried or cremated. Now he went back into asking me a question. This is sales mastery right here. If y'all understand anything at all, because he's asking me questions. Just so y'all know, right? I'm going to paint this picture for you guys. If you've gone through our boot camp, you understand. If you ever watch detective TV shows, right? They have the bad guy right, in the holding cell. And they go, Klint, where were you midnight, 12 a.m. on Wednesday, August, blah, 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 blah. Who were
Uh,
you with, right? What car were
okay.
you driving? By the way, they already have answers, but they're asking you. So who's asking the questions? The guy that's asking the questions is the cop. That's why he's in control, right? We're doing the same thing here. When you go to a doctor's office, Clint walks in. I go, what's wrong, man? What hurts? He goes, my elbow. How long has it been hurting? 2 weeks. Is the pain central? Does it move? How did you break it? How did it hurt? Who's asking the question? The doctor. So, like, if you can understand anything, the professional is the one that always asks the questions, which is you. They can't buy this life insurance without you, right? So, Clint, that's the I didn't fill out the form. I'm gonna throw another one at you right now, which is I'm no longer interested, man. Take me off your list.
Okay, I can definitely do that. Now, when you say not interested, is it because you don't think you can qualify or somebody showed you something that's too expensive?
It was both, man. The guy showed me something that made me wait, and it was like $350 a month.
Oh, dude, that's crazy, man. Who's gonna pay that kind of money, man? I can definitely help you out, dude. I work with 40 different companies to shop around for you. Let me see what I can do for you. I'll just verify a couple of things really quick. We'll go over your options, okay? Says
Okay.
here, your date of birth is this. Is that correct?
Right. Is that correct? Notice that him and I say that a lot.
Right,
Why?
learn to
'Cause
see.
when you say, is that correct? Here's a trick. You can make a statement and go, is that correct? And now it becomes a question. I'm
Yeah,
giving y'all the game, man. This is how we sold. You know what I mean?
fair
Bob, you
enough.
love Mary, right? Is that correct? That's a statement turned into a question. Like you wouldn't want your kids to be left with nothing, right?
Nope.
Yeah, my wife, man. But I say that because you can turn any statement into a question with that. But at the end of the day, we're asking questions, right?
Maintain control.
Um,
Because if
yeah,
not, they're gonna take it into a different direction. And now they're in control. And now we're answering their questions.
dude, I remember when I used to call mortgage protection leads. My script was always the same. Clint, hey Clint, this is Steven getting back to you about the program that helps pay off the house in case of a death or disability. Is the one that you said your date of birth was this? Okay, cool. And the property is 1234 Main Street in San Diego. All right, cool. Is this your primary address or or a rental property? And then,
Prime.
right after I would go through that, I knew it was going to be a good appointment or not. If they just kept going, yes, 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 and then let me book them. But the good ones would do this shit. They would go, are you with our lender? I already have coverage. Do I need to get this too? Right? Like they would like I'm like, bro, I gotta answer them, unfortunately. And if I answer them without asking a question, they'd won.
You know?
Dude, I just moved into this house. Like, how much is this gonna cost? They asked another question, right? That's where like if you understand the sales psychology of what we do, the person that asks the most questions wins. Think about a
100%.
good sale that we do. We go, hey, Clint, how old are you? Question, right? Who you leaving
45.
us behind to? Question.
I
Are
can't
you on
believe
Social Security or are you on a pension? Question. How much do you make? Question. What meds do you take? Have you had a heart attack, stroke, cancer? Question, question, question. Do you get your Social Security deposited in a direct express card or a local credit union or a national bank? Another question. If you look at our sales presentation, a proper one, we probably asked 50, 60 questions when you do it right.
Yeah. If you just listen, like on Zooms, right? Listen to these people, like these guys are killing it. Listen to their questions. Keep track. See, everything we're saying is ending with a question. 100%, dude.
Right.
Maintain control.
Dude, one of the things we used to do, and I wish we do this, is like we would literally, when we used to do like ride-alongs, we would grab a notepad and just literally write our mentor's presentation down. And I'm like, question, question, statement turn into a question, like I was like, oh, you're just a glorified question asker.
That's all it takes.
You know what I mean? Okay, cool. So like they said that they're no longer interested. You said that. If they say that they already got, hey Clint, I already got it taken care of. You know, you can take me off your list, man. Thank you.
You got it. Perfect. A little bit about me as a broker. I work with like 40 different companies. I can shop and save you a ton of money. Sometimes I even say that. It's like, all right, awesome. You can condense form. I can save you a ton of money. Okay. How much coverage you end up getting?
300 grand.
300 grand. Got it. And how much you paying for that?
I'm paying like 240 a month.
240 months? Jeez, man. I could definitely save you a ton of money. Let me verify a couple things really quick and we'll go over your options. Says your date of birth is this.
Right. Now you're in presentation mode.
Back to presentation mode. So one thing I'm started implementing early, there's just recently, man, is no matter what number they tell me, no matter how much they're paying. So for me, I'm like, how much you paying, or how much coverage you end up getting? How much is it? Whatever it is. Oh, dude, I can save you a ton of money. Let me just verify a couple things really quick. It says here your date of birth is this, beneficiary is this, and just go into asking questions. Um, if they tell me they want to reschedule, same thing. I'm like, even if they want to reschedule or schedule me, because 9 times out of 10 they don't show up.
Right.
You hear like smoke alarms and Judge Judy going in the background. Definitely they're staying at home. They got time. Um, and then stuff like I'll go to schedule. I'm like, all right, let me just verify a couple of things really quick. That way I can show you some numbers next time we talk. Says here your date of birth is this. And I'm so assumptive. You hear some agents like, is it, or even me, it's like, is it okay if I ask you a couple questions? They will have some numbers to show you when we talk next time. And they'll be like, no, versus just assuming it and going into it.
Dude,
That's a
that's the cool part is like, you know, Sean used to give us this statement, and the amount of us that have used it in the home is crazy. You remember this one? Hey, Clint, do I have permission to be honest with you? What is a client gonna say? No, lie to me, please. You know what I mean? And Sean would be like, yo, here's some sales training. Tell them this. Hey, client, do I have permission to be honest with you? When they say yes, shoot them straight. He go, they ain't gonna like it. And you did offend them, but you asked them if you can offend them.
yeah.
And bro, like we used to do that all the time. We do this on the phone now.
New
Man, can
agents
I
are
be
scared to
honest
do
with you?
that. New agents
Yes.
are scared to do that though because they're like, I'm gonna lose them. But if you understand you're gonna lose them anyways,
Bro, that's what I'm saying. You're gonna have a polite ending of a call versus a hard ending of a call. It's still gonna be an ending of a call. You know what I mean? Like, for those of you that don't understand, if a client goes, Clint, I really like you. If I'm ever gonna buy insurance, I'm gonna buy it from you. I have your phone number saved in my phone. That's a polite way for them to say, get the F off. It's the same result as the guy that goes, I hate you, click. It's the same result. They clicked on you.
do you know how freeing it was for me to understand that stack of leads that I used to keep that were never gonna be there? I used to track them. I used to shuffle them like I got to call this guy on this day. This guy wants me to call him on Thursday. I'm call this guy on Monday. Let's have a stack of them. And if you realize how freeing that was for me to understand I got one shot, that was such a freeing moment for me. I'm telling you, dude, like, because I used to track them
Oh yeah.
and try to figure out like when to call them, what they're looking for, and rehash that, and just to figure out I got a shot anyways. So then it gives you the ability to push more to understand you got one shot. Ask them the hard questions, the
The,
uncomfortable questions.
the best part is like when you tell them the truth, a lot of times they respect you for telling them the truth and they buy from you.
Yeah.
So like I watched this past week, like Thomas, I literally sat next to him and he called a client back that was like jerking him around. And he was like, Mary, just tell me no so I can stop calling you, please. Just tell me you don't want this. Just tell me you don't want to protect your family. It's okay. I'm not getting a check. Your family is, but they're not getting one either. So just tell me no. And she was like, no, you're right. Let's do it. And she bought. And I'm like, it's like dating, bro. Like if you're desperate, they don't want you.
Yeah.
And like the person that cares the least is in the most control. You know what I mean? Like that's the beauty of what we do. All right, so those are what we call pre-sale objections. Start of the phone script, pre-sale objections. You get to the sales presentation and they dump stuff on you. Like there's usually three closing objections that I hear the most, right? One
Mhm.
of them being, I need to talk to my kids, talk to my wife, I need to think about it. That's all in the same realm.
Yep.
Another one is social, and the other one is banking, right? So like with the think about it, with the, need to talk to my kids, how do you object that? How do you rebuttal that?
My thing is I'll be like, okay, I'll agree, right? Hey, that makes perfect sense that you need to talk to them. If I were you, I would too. But we don't even know. I've done enough beforehand, taking it away, right? You'll hear if I can get you approved, if they'll accept you. They've heard that probably 3 or 4 times before I even get to numbers. Even when I get to numbers, like, hey, no, no guarantees here, but if I can get you approved, this is what we're looking at. And then if I get the objection on, I need to talk to my wife or I need to talk to my kids, I need to think about it. I'll go back to understand that. That makes perfect sense. For you, we don't even know if they're going to accept you. For you, what do you know in your heart would always be affordable? Start there first. If we get you approved, we can adjust it up or adjust it down. Which one works for you? Is it the 30,000 or the 40,000? Or do you want me to look in between? When I get to that point, it's yes or yes questions.
Yeah,
30 or 40, higher or lower. And I leave it at that and don't, you'll see a lot of people that over explain at numbers. Now we're pulling them off numbers and we're talking about something in left field. Stop and wait and let them respond to the numbers. Um, and just leave it there and don't over explain because they're gonna to me I feel like they're calculated responses sometimes. If I start talking too much, they're gonna start to count they're in their mind countering an objection.
right.
To me, that's the way I feel.
Do you ask a lot of rhetorical questions? Because you said yes or yes questions, right? Yes or yes questions to me are basically damn near a form of rhetorical questions. Do you ask a lot of rhetorical questions?
Yeah, I do like when I get into the why and stuff like that. Yeah.
Because that's one of the things that I catch myself doing. And a lot of people are like, yo, that's cheesy. The answer is already yes to that. I know, but I want them to say it.
Yeah.
That's the other part. Hey, Mary, like, just in case something happened, like, you didn't want to leave a burden behind for John, right? Right.
No.
Okay. So, like, if something were to happen, like, how much do you want to leave behind to him? Okay. Like, you don't want to have him do the GoFundMe's and like pass the offering plate around. Is that correct? The answer is yes. Like, who in the hell is going to say no to that, right? But the reason why we say those things, Clint,
Their
is because
thoughts.
we're putting it in their mind, the
It's
picture.
their thoughts, not yours. Yeah.
Yeah. We're putting their thoughts in the front of the mind for them to see. When we go, hey, you don't want them to do a GoFundMe, right? What they see is John literally registering on GoFundMe how to bury their mom. Or when we say pass the offering a plate around, they literally watch themselves passing the offering plate to bury themselves. Like we want to put that picture, like you don't want that, right? You know what I mean? So that's why I'm curious to see because I ask a lot of rhetorical questions. People are like, dude, you ask them questions that they already know. I know. There's a reason.
Yeah, there's a reason because then they 100% Phillies, but you just got to remind them.
Right.
Because if we're not reminding them throughout the process, then like, oh no, I'm gonna look at other numbers.
Right. Because some people do this stuff, which I haven't really done in the past, but I know why they do it. It makes a lot of sense to me. Hey, have you buried anyone recently?
I
Yeah,
ask that
my
all the time.
cousin. Oh, that's why you filled this out, huh? Because you don't want to do the same? Yeah, I got you. Let me take care of you today. Like they're talking to themselves in the answer, but it's to literally poke it at the client.
So what I'll do is what I've learned recently too, even I've just started planning a few months ago, is slowing it down and letting them tell me like their responses and let them tell me what they had to go through. Like pausing, it's kind of it's hard, it's getting easier, but is really just stopping and asking and letting them tell me more of what that was like. Stopping and like, have you had to? And they may explain what they had to go through, whether it's positive or negative, it then you highlight it, right? Like, oh, so that's why you're looking for it. And then you start going with the rhetorical questions. But let them explain to you the pain points that they had to go through and why they're even talking to you. That's 9 times out of 10 why they're even talking to you.
Dude,
Because they want the same stuff.
the other thing I feel is like people ask questions at the wrong time. You see, he laughed because he knows what I'm talking about. So like if I call Clint and I go, "Hey Clint, this is Steven getting back to you, blah 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 blah." And I go, "How much money do you have saved for funerals right now?" They're gonna be like, "That's none of your damn business."
Yeah.
Right off the bat, because
Yeah.
I didn't build any trust with them yet.
Yep.
But if I were to go, "Hey Clint, I'm assuming if something were to happen, you wanted to leave this to your kids, right?" Yeah. Okay, cool. How many do you got? Two of them. Oh, okay, cool. Are they close by? Are they local? Are they out of state? Oh, they're local to me. Got it. So I'm assuming like if something were to happen, like you wouldn't want them to split the cost of your funeral. Got it. Hey, if something were to happen right now, like how much would it cost for them to bury you? Do you have anything in the bank that like could assist them with that? No. What do you have in there roughly if you were to leave it behind? Oh, probably like 2, 3 grand. Yeah, that's definitely not enough, huh, Clint? That's why you fill out the form?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey, let's do this. I'm going to take care of you today like you're my own. So, and then right into the financial inventory. But the other thing that people don't understand is when to ask questions that are not rhetorical. Because when you ask a question right off the bat that is that serious, like how much money do you have in the bank? Right?
For
Or if
sure.
they
I don't
go
even know
like,
this guy.
huh?
Okay? I don't even know who this guy is.
Yeah, exactly.
I used to do
So
that. I used to do
dude,
that.
we all did. That's the reason why we laughed.
Is there
Because we
what?
all used to do stupid stuff like that. You know what I mean? Like I used to hear people say this question and it like it makes me I don't know, I don't like it. Like, and I hope you don't do it, but like people go, who's your beneficiary? And I'm like, why would you ask it that direct? Like, why don't you just ask going, hey, if something were to happen to you, who are we leaving this to? Because that's the same damn question, just worded nicer for them to hear.
Different, yeah. So like even when I was coaching Dennis sometimes, I'm like, dude, you sound like a cop, dude. The way he asked the questions. So the questions were the questions, but the way he was asking, like, dude, you
Interrogation
sound like a
versus
cop, dude. You don't
conversation.
sound like let's talk to a cop, dude. Come on, dude. I had some empathy in there. And then it changes it up the way you ask it too, right? But what's crazy is with the Zoom rooms is we can hear that stuff and pick it up
Hmm.
like fast. So utilize those Zoom rooms, man, because they're gonna help you level up so much faster that we can make little tweaks. You may be asking the questions in the right position, but asking them like a cop, right?
Right.
And then you make one little adjustment, dude, and it's a wrap. That's the beauty of this is that you can learn so much faster than me and Steven did. Because we used to go in the home, we go make
We had no one listen to us.
yeah, we'd make mistakes for months. And then hear some sort of trend like, oh, that makes sense.
Probably should have done that. Yeah.
You know what I
Dude,
mean?
the best part is like even social, like I'm assuming at least I don't know. When you do like Americo's app, you know how like the social is the second question?
Yeah.
Like
Build,
we always skip it.
yeah, to build more value. Yeah.
Like we go, hey, I'm assuming this is your name. Okay. And then we scroll past social and go, this is your address? Have you lived here for 6 years? Are you a US citizen? Where were you born? Like we would go grab all those questions and then go back to social.
Yeah.
Because if you ask social too early in the presentation, it's like, why do you need it?
Yeah. True.
You know
Yeah.
what I mean?
Let's do it too.
Now, if you're a stud like you can probably ask it right away and not really
But
care.
so I tell them, right? So I tell them, and so that was one thing for me is like the process for me is important. Is I'll tell them the process, but I'm already 10 minutes into my presentation before I even tell them the process. I dig out their why first, and then I dig out their why first, and then I'll go into process. Because I have a good understanding of their process or their why, then I'll tell them process. To me, I'm like, and my process looks like just, hey, if we find something that's affordable and I can get you approved, then we're going to submit the application, see if they'll accept you. They're going to ask for your beneficiary's basic information. So I'll draw on their beneficiary. Then they're going to use your social to check your medical history and prescription history. Whatever's in there is what they'll see. So be as honest with me as possible, so I can help shop around for you. So it's going to tell them I'm going to use their social to shop for them. And then if approved, are you going to be using a checking or savings account to fund the policy? Oh, I'll be using my checking. Oh, why do you need that? Oh, it's because hey, if they know where to fund the policy from, okay? And I only need that if we find something that I can get you approved for. So then I'm taking it back away. So it's not yours. It's not yours. I'm taking it away right there. If they even any objections there, hey, that's if I can get you approved, okay? And then I go and I keep going. But I'm not going to sit there and talk about their banking for 30 minutes to a minute because then that becomes a bigger objection than what it was.
Right.
You sit there and hash out their social for 30 seconds to a minute, dude. Now their social's a big deal now. Now their
Right.
banking is a big deal. Or
Right.
I just bat it down and I keep moving.
See, it's so funny because like new agents, once they get to that part, they gotta like gear up for that question. It's so funny. And it's like, all right, Mary, so the reason why the insurance company's gonna need your social is because, and I'm like, bro, like you're bringing attention to shit that like doesn't even matter. You know what I mean? And they're like, well, how do you ask for social? I go, ready? Hey, Mary, what's your social? And they're like, no. I'm like, yeah, but it's because I asked, like Drew said, Cosler, like you ask all the shit that don't matter first. And then when you ask the other pertinent information, it's like just like where you were born.
Yeah.
You
And
know what
then
I mean?
even if they do give me a dejection, it's a short response there too. Is like, hey, that's how they check your medical history.
Right.
But where you'll see a lot of other agents, they'll get into explaining, it's a long conversation about why they need it, and then you can lose them there. So I'm like,
Right.
just, hey, that's how they verify your medical history, social, and just
Right.
wait.
Hey, so I wanted to ask you because we're wrapping up in like 2 minutes. Do you crank wheel every one of your sales?
Everybody. Not like, and I've seen it happen to new agents, like, yeah, I got this. They're in, and then they lose them. Like, no, she trusts me, and then they lose them. And so I crank roll everybody. Everybody gets crank roll and make it a habit because even when they're like, oh, well, I want to shop around, like, let me show you I could shop around for you. These are all the carriers. This is our best rate.
Right.
I use it
Oh, that's smart. Yeah.
every time. Like there's so many. The first time I downloaded it, my very next sell, I had to, I 100% wouldn't have closed them without crank wheel because they can see your screen. They can see what you're looking at, why they need it. What, like it
Right.
says right here.
Right.
Every person. I use that stuff,
Your
man.
team uses it too, I'm assuming.
Everybody
Yeah.
does.
I
And
love it.
and then if they lose, I'm like, why didn't you use it?
Right.
So,
Hey, you know the crazy part is like I'm not kidding. Like I'm trying to train my wife how to sell insurance, right? And I think I sold enough insurance to be like competent at this. And it's hilarious because she sits next to you at the first Vegas lock-in that we did at the Hampton, and she was like, "I'm gonna do that." And so like I know she's in a sale when she texts me. She's like, "I need you to grab my purse," and I'm like, "For what?" It's because she's grabbing two forms of ID.
yeah,
So she'll hop on crank wheels, show the two forms of ID, crack a joke about her picture, and then go right into the app. And that crap works every time for her. Every time.
multiple times.
And
Yeah,
it's funny because when I sell, I've never used it. I don't think I need to use it, but I'm obviously at a different season in my business than she is, right? So I feel like the confidence over, you know,
I thought
trumps
that
for
too.
me.
I thought that too, man. I heard about Crinkle like a year before I started using it, But then the minute I started, he's like, "Holy shit,
Yeah. Well, hey, she closes at a higher
dude!"
clip than I do, so I definitely know for a fact that it's
Oh,
good. Um,
what's the time?
yeah. Hey, you want to see duplication? Y'all know that Clint, when he's usually doing sales, he's on a walking treadmill. Like I know Aaron's on one right now because you can see him. That's duplication at its finest right there.
Yeah,
Clint, I appreciate you, bro, because this is a master class in sales. This is what people don't understand. It's like, dude, are we really just asking questions with a tone? Yeah, we really are. Like that's all we're really doing. You know what I mean? Like we're asking questions a little bit differently. We're asking the same questions. It's not what you say, it's how you say it, right? And that eliminates a lot of the objections. And see, the other part too is like we don't give any weight to the objections. A
no,
new agent puts a lot of weight on there. You don't want to give me your social. Well, how else are they going to do this? And we go, dude, they need it because of this.
yeah,
Really
simple.
that simple.
Yeah, even yeah, really just keeping that same level of tone and not getting excited. I used to get excited not that long ago. Probably like a year and a half ago, I'd get excited, and then my voice would change. It's crazy, like how much like being on Zooms. I got somebody else like, "Do you sound mad?" I'm like, really? So even myself, right?
Yeah.
I'm not afraid to take input
Right.
and adjust. Even where I'm at, dude, I'm still learning stuff. Do I hear new agents with lines like, "Dude, that's money."
Right.
Dude, I'm gonna start using that line. You know, like
Absolutely.
don't be afraid to constantly be learning here, guys. I did this didn't happen overnight. Like it just came with just lots and lots of reps, dude. And so I'm telling you, if I can do it, dude, I promise you guys got it, man. Just keep putting in those reps,
Hey
and
man, two and a
absolutely,
half million on the $3 million this year, man. I'm excited for you, bro.
thank you,
You
brother.
absolutely killing it. You're the definition of consistency here, bro. I appreciate you.
I
Hey guys,
appreciate
thank you
it.
so much for hopping on. If you got any good nuggets, make sure you apply what he's taught you and give him a shout out later and say thank you. But this upcoming Wednesday, we have Roberto Silva from AmAm talking about their new IntelliChoice IUL. That's a phenomenal product. So talk to you soon. Have a great one, guys. As always, see you at the top.